Man Avengers here for This Week in Keyboards. The news is looking pretty interesting this week. Quick disclaimer, it's around 4 a.m. and I'm shooting the A-roll for this right now, and I have a work at 8, so sorry if everything turns out a bit scuffed, but let's do this. This episode is sponsored by Kono.store. When you get a chance, you should join in on the waitlist for the Keystone board that they are working on. It'll feature their new silo switches, which are the Hall effect analog switches they've been working on. Join the waitlist to stay up to date. And I have an inside scoop for y'all. If you've already been on that waitlist, you probably received an email asking about the possibility for different layout options, and between you and me, click the link in the description to join the email list down below. First up in the news, GMK Denim. Designed by Tom Berry, this denim jean-inspired colorway is running as a group buy on Originative for $129. Tom Berry is influenced by the fact that many jeans come with leather patches with the manufacturer or brand logotypes on them, so he wanted to include this kind of look with this set by having the cherry novelty keys act as those leather patches, which thematically makes quite a bit of sense. The legend color is akin to stitching, and both blues, of course, denim. This is a simpler run than the last Carbon run, which had so many sets up the wazoo, whereas GMK Denim only has this one set, so if you're in it, no questions asked, you just go for it. Personally, I don't think this is the set for me, but if you're lacking a little bit of blue in your life, go for it. Next up is an interest check for GMK Rudy by Warnified. Inspired by the American football movie Rudy, the colors are based on the University of Notre Dame's football colors. I think it's pretty nice looking, and I think the set could work well on a keyboard. I mean, yellow and blue has worked well for the school since 1842, so these colors have stood quite the test of time so far. As of writing, Warren let me know that the renders are still a work in progress, so if you're hoping they'll improve, hopefully they go in the direction you're looking for. I think in terms of fitting the theme, the set does well. There are a lot of color combinations that sports teams use, and just the simple color combination of the team can evoke a team's name or their legacy. If GMK Rudy gets it right, this set will feel right to sports fans. Up next is another set inspired by a movie. It's Essay Green Book by HHKB P2. Inspired by the movie of the same name, this set is sculpted, and I think it'll match the aesthetic the designer's going for. It almost has this retro refrigerator feel to it, like it came out of a kitchen from the 50s. The colors used are all signature plastic colors, including that turquoise and that white. All the novelties seem to be references to the movies. Maybe if I watched the movie, I could relate to it a bit more, but because of that, this set just doesn't speak to me. Our next key set interest check is by AIO3, who continually stays busy project after project. This set is the Simple JA, which is a vintage-styled Japanese key set. This set aims to recreate the cross-position legends that were common on so many vintage Japanese boards with historical legends like that. It'll be split up into 5 kits: the base kit, spacebars, number pad, ortho, and function kits. Most likely we'll be looking at Enjoy PBT for the production of the key set, and since AIO3 has been doing work with KBD fans, I have a feeling it'll be hosted on there when it runs. Personally, I'd love a set that looks like this to add to my collection. I don't stray much from GMK, but this would be something I would stray from for. I'm going to keep my eye on this set. Our next bit of keycap news is unfortunately a letdown, a bit of a lesson, but hopefully a lesson that can be learned by everyone. GMK Hammerhead has been cancelled for the time being. Keylab's Keycaps, the designer has said that due to poor layout design and kit decisions, they don't really work out well so far. His inexperience and rush to start the group buy did not allow him the time to iron out all the issues, which led to oddities like the Deepwater kit far outselling the real core kit. But to be fair, the Deepwater kit does look way better. The set will return, but we're going to see some changes when it does. The Deepwater kit will be the primary kit. There will be European supports. Most all the kits will be fully restructured to work better in terms of providing the keys they need without having duplicates in order to lower the price for everyone. So, if you're working on designing a kit, you should not only look at examples of what to do right, but examples of what not to do. And I hope people can learn from this. I wish the designer the best when GMK Hammerhead returns. Moving over to another keycap set, we have GMK Yellow Jacket by GTRX. This set was designed with simplicity, affordability, and compatibility in mind. So why does it look so much like a mashup between JTK Yolsh and Rama's Heavy Industry? Most likely convenience, to be honest, and that's probably okay. I still think it looks pretty decent, and having more yellow in the community wouldn't be a bad thing. I think you want to lean more to ABS than PBT if you want a yellow set because of that rich color, so this may be a really attractive set compared to Heavy Industry, and since it's GMK, you're going to get some quality. It's already going to be leagues ahead of JTK Yolsh. The main set is going to be continuing the trend that other sets have done by not including the numpad in the base kit. Hopefully this can end up bringing the price down to a sustainable amount for participant when it runs. I'll be keeping my eye on this set. I hope it does well. Our next topic is a keyboard that is taking a lot of different design cues that we've seen in the community and then slamming it to a 75%-ish form factor. This is the Timberwolf by Croctopus, and just looking at it, we can see the influences. That separated and lowered arrow cluster, that left-hand macro key column, the rotary encoder, that almost TCV3 style of just throwing stuff out there, including 2 U keys. There are actually a bit of options in terms of layouts, and there are actually over 60 combinations, so don't expect all of them to actually be manufactured. The expected price will be around $300 to $350, which is pretty decent for what this is. Honestly, there seems to be a good amount of features on this board, as well as a very unique looking layout. The layout will be probably one of the more controversial things about this board, kind of like when Duck did the TCV3. But I think with the success of the TCV3, people don't mind going out of their way for unique layouts like this. One of the big draws for me, that's a big plus, is that it's going to be a plateless keyboard, and the plate, or the PCB, will be gasketed between 2 O-rings. I really like plateless builds, like with my Jur A06, so I'm excited to see more keyboards mounted to PCB in a way like this, as opposed to using a plate. The group buy will begin in roughly a month, so keep your eyes peeled and your wallets open. Heading back to the realm of keycap sets, we have another SA set, SNES by Vudu 6K. Inspired by the SNES, this will be using 3 SP colors as well as 2 Pantone colors matched to a Super Nintendo controller to get that purple match just right. In this IC, Vudu 6K is still deciding between the standard scope of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, or going with Filco's 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. I think either one will work out really well. In the attempts to keep the set affordable, there won't be any extra colors, that being, the accented red, yellow, green, and blues. A bit unfortunate, but sometimes when you're going with SP, you're going to want to keep that price down. I think with the purple legends and the light gray alphas, the gray on gray mods, as well as that deep purple F-row, this set's going to be a pretty popular SA set for the sake of nostalgia. Okay, so let's end the news this week with our last 75%, the half feather 75% keyboard by Yellowbird. The layout is interesting. It reminds me of a 75% version of a Magic Force, but with blockers. And the interesting thing is the blockers are just there to give the aesthetic without taking anything away from the function. As on the left side, you still have access to the Windows key, and on the right side of the board, there's a large empty space like the Magic Force. There's the logo there as well. The weight on the back is inspired by the designs of Chinese paper-cut butterflies, but I'm worried in reality it's going to end up looking like a tramp stamp on the back of your keyboard. The price range will be around $300, and the plate will be offered in anodized aluminum or a multicolor gradient PVD brass plate. And wowee, look at that multicolor. Wow, I think those plates are going to look absolutely wonderful based on these prototypes here. The typing angle is 6 degrees, and the plate will be burger mounted with O-rings. What I and you should be worried about is that PCB. It's going to be running on the C3 firmware, which won't be open sourced this time. Hopefully there is an English version of whatever program or web app they want us to use to program this keyboard. That's a major bummer. Aside from all this, the keyboard does look decent, and although that empty space on the right side, it's going to bother me quite a bit. That's it for the news this week. The Cool Board's also resuming this week, which will be streamed live Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So tune in so we can see what's cool and what's yikes on the board. If you haven't, subscribe and clack that bell icon for notifications. I have a Discord where I talk about keyboards and other stuff from time to time, so link down below if you want to join. Thank you everyone so much for watching. See you in my next video. Sorry for the scuff. Peace.